Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Money Hungry Mama podcast. I am so excited because Samantha is with us today. Samantha, take it away.
Hi, everyone. My name is Samantha Hernandez. I am the owner of Mauve Shoppe Boutique, but I am also a wife, a mother of three. I have two boys and a 1-year-old little girl. I run my boutique as a side business, I guess you would say. I also have another business that I run and operate with my brother. Totally different than what the boutique is. It's a service-based thing, male-driven industry. So my passion though is my boutique, and we specialize in apparel, accessories, shoes, and lots of gift items all year round, but specifically the holidays are coming up, so the store is fully stocked with tons of gifts.
Okay, so you own two businesses, one with your brother, and then the boutique. The boutique is going to be what we focus on today, guys, but that is really cool. I did not know that you had two.
Not
Okay,
many
so we
people
are
do.
like,
I don't
yeah, we,
usually talk about it, but yes.
my gosh, we're like full entrepreneur here. This is going to be exciting. So tell me, Mauve Shop, how did we think of the name? Why did we start this? Tell me everything.
All right, so I wish I had some incredible story behind Mauve, but I don't. So it started at my dining room table back in 2020. I had just given birth
Okay.
to my second son. And I was going to start my business was the Mauve label. And it started that way because indigo was taken. So we went with Mauve.
I love it.
Love both of those colors. So we just went with that. And then, so I started off doing t-shirts and creating home items actually, with my Cricut and all of that fun stuff.
Cool.
Yeah. Then I started to realize that there was so much that went into making stuff. I mean, now the world of making t-shirts and items and stuff. I mean, people are not using Cricuts anymore, so it's changed so much where I still do make a lot of like the merch for my store and things for my kids and stuff, but definitely not using a Cricut anymore.
Yeah.
But that was how it started, by me making t-shirts. And after realizing that I didn't want to do that because it was just too time consuming. I had a 2-year-old, I had a newborn. I'm like, what am I doing? I started going to networking events, and I connected with a lot of different women who said, you need to look into the boutique world. Why aren't you a boutique? And I'm like, my whole life I always wanted to do it, but I just never knew where to start. I mean, I've tried this a few times when I was younger, but it never turned into what it is now. You know, in my 20s, I played around and but never really knew what I was doing. Now that I'm in my late 30s, I think I have a hold on it, and that was kind of how Mauve was born. But it was always a dream of mine, always.
My gosh. So I've tried close to 30 side hustles. One of them was making shirts with a Cricut. And let me tell you right now, that's exactly why I couldn't do it either. I remember it was like Christmas and I was swamped with orders and it was hours on end. I'm like, this is hell. I was like, this is not fun
It
anymore.
is. It's a lot of work, and listen, I feel like social media creates like a facade, because even being like in the boutique world, people can think that, oh, it looks so fun. It's so much fun. Look at all the fun. But there's also that side of it that people don't see. Like, you don't see all the countless hours that go into entering inventory, tagging products, merchandising, going to market to shop for this stuff. Even if I can't, like, since I've had my daughter, I haven't been able to go out of state, but I typically do go to Atlanta and I go to Dallas to shop markets. But there's so much more than just
Hmm.
putting a pretty outfit on a mannequin.
Oh, I love this podcast so much because that's what we do here. We do the raw, the real, and the messy because
Mhm.
I feel like, just like how you said, everything, it looks like a highlight reel on social media that, especially as moms, is like, oh, I want to do this. Like, this looks like so much fun for me. And then all of a sudden you get into it and you're like crying and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so much work.
It's
So I have never like deep diving into boutique owning. So what is a shop fair, or is that what you called it? Shop?
What do you mean?
What did
Sorry.
you just say? Market? Shop market
Oh,
that
yeah,
you shop?
yeah. We go to it's called going to market. So they have
Okay.
like they do them every few months. So
Okay.
there's Atlanta. Market and Dallas Marketplace. So you go there, and then there's permanent vendors that have like wholesale stores, like one floor, and then there's temporary vendors who I mostly shop the temp vendors. So, excuse me, I go there, look at all the stuff, touch it, build relationships with these vendors. And I have my tried and true that I work with, that know me. Um, but which helps me because I'm
Yeah.
not going, so I'm able to go onto their website and shop, and I know that the quality is gonna be good. Whereas if it was someone just starting out, it's so hard. Because when I was first starting out, before I started going to market, it was so hard to go on and kinda take a chance on what you were
Yeah.
ordering because you don't you're gonna get. So going to market is so good if someone that's watching is thinking of starting a boutique or getting into this kind of business. It's important, and there's a one called Magic Fashion Events, and they come to New York twice a year in the spring and the fall. So if you can't get out of state, you can also go there, and
Mhm.
you can meet a lot of the vendors there.
This is really cool. So basically how I'm picturing this is like it's like a giant like fashion merchandising event and you get to like walk around and you make these connections
Mhm.
and you can buy their pieces at like a discounted price to put in your store.
Right, so we buy it wholesale, and
Amazing.
we don't take it home with us that day. There are the vendors who are permanent there that do have are called cash and carry vendors, so you
Mhm.
can go in there, buy it, and take it back home with you. I have a bit of a problem with cash and carry, and I mean, like, I love it, not like I
Oh,
don't like it. Um, it can be very addicting because, like, it's one thing to, like, order the stuff and then you have to wait for
yeah.
it to come in, but when you get to take the product with you, and then a lot of people would typically what I do is I'll go live in like my Facebook group. So I have a community over on Facebook. So when I'm
Oh.
at market, I get this stuff and then I go to my hotel room and I go on live and I show all the stuff and I'm like, I get so excited because it's like Christmas for everybody, right?
Wait, tell us your Facebook group so we can join.
Oh, so it's the Mauve Shop VIP room. I change it every so often, so I think that's what it's called right now. But I'll give it to you. You can definitely
I'll
like
put it in
rub
the
it
show
in
notes,
there.
guys.
But
Yeah.
yeah, yep.
That is really fun. See, okay, this is the fun part of the boutique, like getting to go to these places and seeing all these fun things. That's a really cool. So now, okay, so we go to these shops, we buy these different products, what have you, and then you bring them back. But then you did say if you're not going to market, once you make pair ups with these vendors, you'll get their contact information that you can look at their sites too.
Yeah, they all have their own websites. I
Mm.
mean, where you can go and see all their new arrivals. And then once you form that relationship, they email you like weekly.
Oh, cool.
They send you line sheets is what they call them. And they will send you line sheets out the wazoo, which I like because
Yeah.
sometimes like, oh, you know what, we're running low on this. And for me, we always order in small batch. That's one thing
Yeah.
about my store. And that's, I think, something that goes with boutique shopping where a lot of people don't
Mm.
realize. So for my store, we do small batch ordering, meaning we're only ordering one run of something. So, like, once it's gone, it's gone. I don't restock very rarely. I may once or twice in the past 5 years restocked something, but it's very rare that I will do that. And that's. But it's
Wow.
once it's there, and then it's gone, it's gone. So,
That
that's why
is
I always try to tell people, if you have your eye on it, get it now, because if it's gone and then in 3 weeks you're like, "I want that," it's not here.
yeah. Yeah, and she's honestly telling the truth because I went to a vendor event. So she's also located in New Jersey, and I went to it was an vendor event. It was a networking event, and I think some of your products were there. You were not there, but like
Mhm.
you had your shop and like some of the products out. And I remember looking in the beginning of the night, and I was like, oh, like I really like this piece. And then I went, and then I came back, and it was gone, and that's it.
And that happens a lot. It does. It happened at a vendor event that I did, and the same thing, it was this adorable it was summer, and these
Mhm.
little purses that we had that were, like, the perfect little summer purse, and this 2 women wanted it, and the one got it, the other one left, and then she came back and she says, "Do you still have the purse?" I said, "It's gone." She was like, "Oh my god." I'm like, and with things like that are very, like, rare
Unique.
to find, yeah,
Yeah.
I usually do, like, 1 or 2 of them. Because I
Wow.
don't want everybody to have it, then what's the point? You can go to Macy's and
Yeah.
department stores, and they have
Yeah.
thousands and thousands of them, and everybody's wearing it.
That is
So
so cool that you think like that because in my mind, I was like, if they're selling so good, just get more. And you're like, no, like I want these women around me to just be like unique and stand out and be like, where'd you
yes,
get it? Oh
absolutely.
my gosh, that's really cool. That's a really cool concept. I love that because in my mind, I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh, if it's making you money, just get more of them. Like that's how I think. So
I
I love
hear
that you're like,
you.
no, I can't. I gotta look out for my ladies. They need to be unique and
That's
walking
it.
around with like the hottie toddy stuff.
Absolutely.
Fun. So, what part of running a boutique surprised you the most?
Running a boutique surprised me the most.
Mhm.
I don't know that I could say anything in particular surprised me, only because I come from a business background with
Mm.
the other business that I have. And honestly, the things, if we were talking about that, I can share a ton of wild things with you, but nothing surprises me. Nothing. I mean,
I feel like we need to know what this other business is.
there's nothing that surprises me. It's totally like the opposite side of we do service repairs for commercial cooking refrigeration equipment. So we service mom and pop places, but we also service a lot of chain restaurants, hospitals, school districts, and things like that. So
That is interesting. Never even heard of that either.
it's the trades, for the guys that work for us and stuff. They're out there hitting the ground every single day
Yeah.
fixing equipment. Like you go to a restaurant, and if you can't get something on the menu because a piece of equipment is broken, they would call someone like us and we would come in and we'll, make the repairs. But
Uh,
like I said, having been in that business for like half of my life, I nothing surprises me in anything. I mean, between the customers, the employees, I can't think of something. I don't know. If I think of something, I'll mention it. But
yeah.
I don't have anything in particular right now off the top
Oh,
of my head.
interesting. Okay. So, inventory.
Mm.
How are you choosing what you carry and what you don't? Like, is it
Mm.
instinct? Is it data? Is it customer requests?
So when I first started, it was instinct. It
Okay.
was, a guessing game. But as you grow, as you build a community, you start to learn who your customer is, and you kind of put her at the top and you
Mhm.
work off of that, right? So we do have our customer. Her name is we call her Rose.
Yeah.
And so everything that is purchased is, would Rose wear this? Would Rose like this? Is Rose gonna buy this? So you build your one customer, and that's how we buy our inventory.
Very cool. So we talk about that on here, guys. I have called them avatars, but basically you give them a personality, a trait. It's like
Exactly.
you're talking to your best friend, you know their age range, you know everything about them. And
Exactly.
that's going to be who you talk to in your branding and your marketing and everything. So that is
Absolutely.
really cool. Okay. So Rose, what is her age range?
When I tell people this, most people don't believe me, but
Uh-huh.
she's in her 50s.
I could see it. Only because you said that to women about the purse situation. I don't think as a
Well,
millennial, I'm impulsive.
so
I'm
it's
getting
funny
it.
because the one who bought it was a younger woman. The
Mhm.
older woman, though, didn't buy it. It was actually that purse was a younger woman who was pregnant. I'll never forget it. And an older woman that was with her husband. The younger girl bought it.
Yep. Because I feel like we're impulsive.
She was like, I just need it. And I was like,
Yep.
okay. But oh my goodness, now I lost my train of thought. What was the question?
Rose, like, what age range was she?
So she's in her 50s. She likes to golf. She likes
Okay.
martinis. She enjoys going out with her friends. She likes to go on dates.
Little
That's
Samantha Sex in the City vibes.
yes, yes, but she's fun.
Very cool. Okay. That is so interesting, but I swear to goodness, that's the only reason why I thought it was gonna be somebody older was because the purse story. I feel like I've just been doing this so
Nobody believes me when I say that. They're like, "No way." I'm like, I mean, we have our
yeah,
our
of course.
our demographic ranges from 30 up until 80,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
So, but we're like in that median
Mhm.
with all of our data and, watching the customers and who buys. It's like,
Exactly, exactly, and I feel like that's gonna be 50-year-old Brittany, like, boutique Brittany that's gonna be my era to hit boutiques is,
yeah,
when you're out of the thick of motherhood a little bit more and you're like, "Okay, I'm gonna be able to go into these boutiques and, like, no, I'm not gonna get throw up on it and it's gonna, like, stay nice in my closet," you know what I mean?
I feel you.
Yeah, that's so oh my gosh, so cool. Okay, so what business decision did you make early on that completely changed your trajectory?
Um, so when I opening up my brick and mortar
Mhm.
was, like, huge,
Yeah.
and it was, like, a big change. Um, when in 20 oh god, we're in 2025, 2024, 2022,
Uh-huh.
I opened up a boutique out of my house, okay?
Very
Now
cool.
you weren't coming in my home, I had a separate entrance, it was
Mhm.
owned for business, or so I thought, and I didn't have people knocking down my doors. I
Yeah.
people like my tried and true, my loyal customers that knew I was here, they would literally come once a week, they were just, like, always here. So one day, it was a hot summer day, it was August,
Mhm.
and I'm in here, I have, like, my office, and then I had the other side where I had, like, all the clothing and everything merchandise for people to shop, and I hear the door open, and I went and I said, "Hi." And it was a man, and he says, "Oh, hi, are you the owner?" I said, "I am." And he says, "I'm so and so with the Toms River Township Zoning Department." Oh, I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, what can I do for you?" He's like, "Do you have a permit to operate here?" I'm like, "I mean, I have my business documents, my permit, no, I mean, I'm not real like, I was, like, caught off
Yeah.
guard. I didn't do my homework is what it really came down to. So they were gonna fine me if I decided to stay open here, they were gonna, fine me, or I had to go before the zoning board, I was gonna have to retain an attorney. It became, like, this whole big thing, and it was easier for me because, obviously, I didn't have the overhead, I didn't have to hire employees, I was able to still
Yeah.
be home because I have 3 little children. So I could, have them with me. They were in the other room.
Mhm.
It was very convenient. So that happened. I did try to get a lawyer. We kind of went over everything and he just said, you can dump all this money into it, but you're going to go before the board. I was just like, I could dump my money into an attorney or I can dump it into a storefront.
Yeah.
So that that was something that was really huge for me as far as, making that big change and saying, "Okay, you know what? I'm gonna pick myself up, get it
Yeah.
together." That same day, I was like, just in my head, I was so upset, but I went online and I Googled, retail spaces for rent just to see what was out there, and lo and behold, the space that we're in now was up there, and I was looking at it, and I'm like, "Oh, Point Pleasant's a nice town, it's not far from here." Um, so that was how that happened.
But honestly,
Your
I
whole
think that is, like, amazing that you shared that today because I don't think I even thought that you needed a permit outside your house. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like, I never would have thought that if you're doing something inside your house, you needed a permit. And I
right,
guess I've never ever planned on having people inside my home to shop. So
right.
that's why it didn't cross my radar.
I mean, like I said, I didn't do my homework and,
Yeah.
I could sit here and blame the city, or I could say, I didn't look into it enough. I just assumed, and you know what they say when you assume, right? So, I assumed, and it led me to that, but we were here for, like, 6 or 7 months before that happened, and again, like I said, I didn't have people knocking down my doors. I
Yeah.
had my and that's what I said to the guy. I even spoke to, like, the head zoning officer, or whatever you wanna call her, and I explained to her, I'm like, "Most people message me before they come here. People are not just
Yeah.
pulling up. I mean, it's not a retail shopping
Yeah.
mall, but it it was a setback,
Mhm.
but the comeback was stronger, so
Yes.
he did me a favor.
Absolutely. I say this all the time. Rejection is redirection, right? Like
Yes.
it's going to be something that's going to lead you to something better. And
Yeah,
I also like heard that I think one of the moms also mentioned that on the podcast too. So now when it comes to your new brick and mortar space, how
mhm.
is that going? Is it everything that you hoped for?
Some days I can't believe it. I'm like, I walk in, I have a great staff, so, I gotta shout them out. My store manager, she's incredible. I think, one of going back to your question about owning a boutique, a difficulty, right? That was what you
Mhm.
asked me, something that I found difficult, delegating. That is so, I built this thing, right,
Mhm.
from the ground up.
100%.
Literally, I never took a business loan,
Mhm.
never.
Wow.
took some money that I had and I just kept reinvesting it over and over. And so for me, it was like, this was my baby. I had
Mhm.
a way that I did things. I had everything. There's a rhyme or reason to the way I do things.
Mhm.
And it was very, and even sometimes still difficult for me to delegate,
Yeah.
to be like trusting that someone is going to do it because I'm like, I always feel like, well, I know I'm going to do it right. But,
Mhm.
I always get nervous that, well, what if they don't do it right?
Mhm.
So I'm learning to let go. I've gotten a lot better, but that was my biggest struggle, I think.
I think you're not alone in that.
But nothing else surprises me. But that surprised me. But here we are.
Yeah.
So I derailed again
Nope, you're good. You are so, so good.
because now I forgot what the question was because I remember.
No, it was oh, now I'm choking.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Um, no, it was, owning the shop. Like, how does it make you feel
Oh
to
yeah. Yeah. It makes me feel incredible. But again, I feel like a lot of the times I walk in and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is mine." Like,
Yeah.
as a little girl, like, little young me is, like, smiling ear to ear,
Yeah.
because she can't believe that this is ours, that we have employees at a boutique and, we host events and we do all these things and the community that we've built is incredible, but it fulfills me.
Yeah.
It gives me even I love being a mom, but, like,
Mhm.
even when I go there, because when we become moms, right, we lose a lot of our identity. We lose a lot of who we are, and my first son, I suffered really, really bad with postpartum depression and
Yeah.
anxiety. So, for me, when I go there, I feel like me again.
Mhm.
I feel like I am not just their mom.
Yeah.
I'm Samantha, and I feel in my element.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so true, and I remember another mom from New Jersey, her name is Jessie, she had said the same thing, like, when she created her business, it finally gave her a name again. It wasn't just so and so's
Mhm.
mom. It was, like, something that you love about, you and yourself, and it's so true. I have
Yeah,
chills as you were talking because it's so true.
yeah,
I love being a mom. That is my favorite role I'll ever play in my life, but to be known as Brittany, like, I like Brittany's podcast, like, you that also is so fulfilling because you're still a
mhm,
person. Like, you didn't lose yourself in motherhood anymore, which is I think why so many of us start trying to do these things and to help our families. But
mhm.
I love it. Okay, what is something you wish more moms understood about starting a business, especially when they feel like they're late or behind
Later be like
in life, like they started it too late?
okay. I would say do it. Do not feel like it's too late because there's so many, and I don't know like what the percentage is, but because I'm not a statistics kind of person, but I do listen to
Mhm.
things and I do reading, and a lot of people don't start businesses until they're in their 50s.
Yep.
So, girlfriend, if you're in your 30s, your 20s, you are not late 40s, you're not late. You are just beginning. Like,
Mhm.
we say I just turned 38 yesterday, but it's like,
Oh, happy birthday.
"Thank you." So it's like, 38. I am not old, but when I was, like, 7 or 8, if you asked me what old was, I was like, 30. But, it's like, it's never too early and it's never too
Mhm.
late, and I always say sometimes I wish that I started sooner. Like I said, I played around with the idea of, um, starting a store, but I didn't have the money to do it.
Mhm.
And when I was in my 20s, I was not gonna take a loan. I had a little bit of sense, and so I made sure, but, yeah, I think if you have a passion for something or you have dreams or goals in life that you're waiting on or you're sitting on them, why?
Yeah.
Why are you waiting? Why are you sitting on them? Because you have a baby, because you have children? You setting an example for my children is also something that's really big for me, that they see the hard work that I put in,
Yeah.
but I don't feel like they should be the ones that are holding us back. If anything,
Mhm.
they should be the ones that are propelling us forward to wanna do better, to show them, "Hey, look, no matter what, you can do and you can be anything that you want.
Yeah.
And I know it's, like, kinda cliche, right? Like, but you can
You can.
literally do and be anybody that you wanna be. It doesn't nothing should hold you back.
No.
Nothing.
No. I love that so much because I think, growing up, I didn't grow up in an entrepreneur house. I grew up in a very, like, this is what you do. You work the job. You go and you do become a mom and then you just go back to work and this is like the life that you live. And, all of a sudden it was at first, everybody's so supportive. My family is great. But it was taboo. It was like, "Oh, what are you doing? Like, where are you
Mhm.
gonna what do you how do you make money though?" Like, and it was like those kind of questions. And I think watching my kids seeing me on YouTube or seeing whatever, and they think it's like the coolest thing, or I come into their school and they're like, that's my mom, like, or I just think it's really cool because it's not their mom, the school teacher anymore. It's their mom, like, doing all of these crazy things. So I just love that
Right.
you said that because sometimes we forget that they're always watching and we're giving them a chance to do something great too.
Oh my goodness. My 7-year-old wants when you ask him, "What do you wanna be when you grow up?" He wants to be a business owner. That's what he
I love
keeps saying,
that.
"I wanna be a business owner." He
I love
has,
that.
like, a book, and he tells me all day after he's done his home I'm working, and he has, like, a book, and he's, like, writing all down, and he's, like, tagged prices on all his toys and all his things, and he's like, "They're for sale." Today, he won a raffle. He's raffling off a gift card. It's $1 to enter the raffle. I can't.
My gosh, he has it down to a
Yeah.
science.
My mom bought 2 raffles, by the way.
I
So,
love it. Already, he's gonna be a millionaire by the time he's 17.
he's driving me nuts, but yeah, they're watching. They
Mhm.
are watching you so closely.
Yep, yep, and it's cool that, the moms on this podcast get to give their kids a chance to do literally whatever they want, so that is really, really fun.
Absolutely.
If someone gave you $500 and said, "Use this to grow your business," where would you put it and why?
Oh my goodness, if someone gave me $500,
Mhm,
where would I put it in my business?
mhm, and why?
My god, I've never thought of such a thing. Where would I put 500 in my pocket? No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, I don't know. Can we skip that one and come back
Yes.
to it?
Yes.
What I no, that's a hard one.
Yes. I guess for myself, I would put it into maybe, like, ads for a school where you
Okay,
logo on the back of a shirt, and this way everybody in town was, like, looking at the shirt because those usually cost about, like, $500.
okay,
That's something I would probably do.
okay. That makes sense, okay.
But you can think about it.
I
Ready?
don't know, like, I gotta think about it.
So, since being in your brick and mortar, I know you have your VIP Facebook group. What is another great thing that you've done for marketing to really get your name out there?
Networking events, in
Okay.
person, face-to-face networking.
Love that.
So, yeah, that's it. Get in
Yeah.
front of people. Women groups, join your local chamber, and find, here in New Jersey, or South Jersey where I am, there is a lot of groups. There's
Mhm.
also a lot of groups that have come and gone, but there are a lot of women groups. Can I shout one of them out that oh, okay, yeah. So I belong to Turnkey Women. I am a member. They do have a membership for a small fee, which is great. And they put on tons of networking events throughout the year. Um, and I love going to them because I get to connect with so many different people
Yeah.
from all different paths of life, all
Mhm.
different industries, but they all have one thing in common. They need clothes. They need to
Yeah.
be dressed. So, I mean, hello. No, but they're so supportive. All the women in the group,
Yeah.
they're all supportive. We all kind of support each other, and I love it. I think
Yeah.
networking groups and getting out there. I'm also in January co-hosting a networking event with a local guy. It's going to be January 20th. I think it's in Asbury Park. But yeah, details to follow. So, if you're
Cool.
local and looking for an event, it's going to be,
Very fun.
yeah. So,
That is awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Networking is huge.
mhm.
Huge. I think it's so great to meet different people. I love it. And, trying to think of the word.
Am I rubbing off on you?
Yeah. Now, because I know where I wanted to go with it. And I was like, I don't know if I want to go that way now. Because I think in general, like, it's so hard to get your name out there, and it's sometimes it can also be intimidating when, like, you're going to one of these for the first time, and I will say there's been some where if I went with my friend, I literally was talking to my friend the whole time, and I it's probably best to go by yourself. Like, I would say if you're gonna go to these networking events, literally try to go by yourself, so this way you are forced to talk to other people and make new connections by yourself.
Bingo. It's so scary.
It
I'll
is.
tell you, it is so scary when you do it for, like, the first or second time,
Yep.
but once you get in there and you start talking,
Mhm.
it gets easier every time, so
That is
definitely take that step if you're on the fence of maybe you
mhm.
have a, event that you wanna go to and you're
Yeah.
like, because I remember my first event, I was, like, texting my brother, I'm like, "I'm so scared, I don't wanna go, I'm so nervous," and my brother's, like, a public speaker, he speaks in front of hundreds and hundreds of people, and he's at it, and I'm like, and he's like, "Just do it, you're good, get in there," and I went, and that was, like, kind of the gateway to everything for me, was that
Yeah.
first event I went to.
That is awesome. Duh. And if anybody here wants to do a trial speed networking, it is completely free. It's going to be on Zoom and it's either going to be December 30th or January 6th.
Oh,
So it's going to be completely free Money Hungry Mama speed networking Zoom. So you
I
guys
love
can try your pitches there first.
I love that. Yeah, absolutely, that's such a good way to, like, start, because I feel like in a Zoom, it's a little bit easier than
Yeah.
actually being face to face with someone,
Mhm.
but yeah, that's super cool, I love that.
100%. I almost completely forgot about that. I don't know the date just yet. I just put it in my
That's
stories for people to take
okay.
to take a vote. So one of
Yeah.
those, but it'll this will be out for it. So just make sure you're coming to our
Awesome.
Instagrams because you'll see hers following. So come practice on the free Zoom and then head on over to Mauve Shop if you are in New Jersey.
Yeah, love that.
Okay, Samantha, what does being a money hungry mama mean to you?
What does being a money hungry mama mean to me?
Hmm.
So, yeah, it means to me being, well, successful and, right, like being able to show, like I said earlier, show my children that being a money hungry mama is possible and that you can do anything makes me feel strong, makes me feel validated. And yeah, it's and being able to provide for my family in more ways than one, you know?
Yeah. No, for sure, for sure. I love successful because I think, from all of these tidbits of advice that you mamas are providing, if somebody sat here and just binged watched and listened to everything you guys had to say, there's so much success in these real raw conversations because you guys are just doing the thing. You are literally doing the thing every single day without giving up and I just think that that is incredible. So thank you for your time. And Samantha, where can our listeners support you?
Yeah, so we're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Or you can find us. So we are Mauve Shop, Shoppe, but flip it. Does that make sense? So it's when you look for us, you're going to find us as Shop Mauve because Mauve Shop was taken. No, but yeah, you can find
It's
us. We live mostly on Instagram. So we're posting in our stories all day. We're posting new content daily, new arrivals, style videos, funny videos, all different kinds of content. And then our website. So we are not only our brick and mortar, we do have our site where you can shop with us online at mauve, shoppe.com. We offer free shipping, $75. Gotta love that. And,
cool.
if you sign up, I'll tell you a secret. If you sign up for our email list on our website, you'll get a 15% off coupon to use on our
Ooh.
website.
Very
So,
cool.
yeah, so you can save 15% that way with your first order, free shipping at 75, which is not hard to hit.
Yep.
Pretty
So
easy.
fun. I know what I'm doing right after this. Very awesome. Thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.